Hello everyone, my name is Glaucia Passos. This is my video for my health policy presentation. Will be talking about today the bill S2199 is the Insulin Price Reduction Act. It is asking to amend the Subpart 2 of the Title 817 of the Public Health Act, first section. So this bill was presented by Senator Tom Carper. It is a bipartisan bill, and it was joined by Senator G. Shaheen, Susan Collins of Maine, and Kevin Cramer. So this bill was presented to the House and was passed on to the chambers of to the Committee on Finance. So right now it's sitting in a Committee on Finance. My objective is to explain what the bill is asking for and to explain how pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies are self-regulating insulin prices and how this is implicating on the high prices of insulin right now. So I'm going to go to the problem and then I'm going to explain the bill. The problem right now. So right now you have enough data that's shown that, the price of insulin have increased so much. You have a study done by Huang, Chang, Carvalho, and Herman that states and show the data collected that the price of insulin between 2006 to 2013 increased 147%. The bad part with this is insulin has been around for a while. It was first an annual insulin, right? But now we also have synthetic insulin, which is much better for treatment. However, they don't explain, and it's no explanation, it's no data available saying why this 147% increase. Um, Other studies have concluded that the driving force of insulin price increase, it is the negotiations that are they are done between the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies. The insurance company negotiates with the pharmaceutical company not directly. They have a middleman, and the middleman is a pharmacy management company, or more known as PMB, pharmaceutical management beneficiary companies. So they are middlemen, they work for the insurance, and they will negotiate the price with the drug manufacturer. They will meet, not public meeting, obviously is a business, right? So they meet, they decide the price of medication, decide what medication is going to be on a drug formulary list. Drug formulary lists are problematic because they can exclude cheaper insulins from list. The insurance companies receive rebates from the drug pharmaceutical companies by having exclusivity contracts with them who are only prescribing their insulin. So in this case here, even if a competitor has a cheaper insulin, if their insurance is contracted with a certain manufacturer, such as Lilly, for example, they can, if they have a more expensive insulin as compared to the competitor, the competitor insulin is not going to be listed in a drug formulary list. By having exclusivity contracts, the pharmaceutical company gives rebates to the insurance company. So they have a financial interest behind. So Moyo concluded that the drug companies and the insurance companies are the big driving forces of the price of insulin because of the rebate system. They also can exclude cheaper insulins from the drug formulary list. And other problems as well. So, and you patients have to deal with high insurance premiums. Sometimes the premiums are covered by including insulins. So if you have a $5,000 premium, you have to pay everything to hit the 5,000. If your cost of insulin is $300 per month, you paying $300 per month. It's $400 per month. It's $400 per month. It's very expensive, and someone with fixed income, 400, 500, 200, that's very expensive. People cannot include that in the budget. And it becomes your problem is buying food or buying insulin, paying rent, pay the mortgage, or buying insulin. People are going without treatment. The American Diabetes Association concluded that patient worst outcomes are directly related to lack of treatment. Lack of treatment is causing amputations, death, diabetes ketoacidosis, blindness, kidney disease, end-stage disease, death, coma, and dialysis as well. So there is a lot of problems as healthcare providers. We know that insulin is a problem. Lack of insulin is a problem. Lack of treatment is a big problem with diabetes. Diabetes is a very complex disease and is being treated by now as in America is just purely is a big business and it is not being regulated by the United States. There is no law to protect consumers, and that's what the bill S 2199 is calling for. This bill is calling for a reduction of insulin. Um, Xuan, Carvalho, Huang, and Herman concluded that that's no indicator why the drug price increased so much, the insulin price increased so much. So the bill S 2199, the Insulin Price Reduction Act, is asking the pharmaceutical companies to reduce the price to the 2006 prices because it's above medical inflation, above American inflation, and they cannot explain why it's so high. The bill is also asking for elimination of drug rebates. As I explained, insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies are making money. Insurance gives exclusivity to a pharmaceutical company, and the pharmaceutical company gives money back to the insurance. It is a financial interest and it needs to be eliminated because it's not for the best interest of the patients. Prior authorization, the difficulty getting a prior authorization also delays treatment and sometimes prevent treatment altogether. So that slows down treatment and decreases compliance. Um, Drug formulary list on the bill S120 S2199 is also asking to all insulin to be included in a drug formulary list and is asking for elimination of high deductibles for insulin treatment. So everyone can have access to treatment and people don't have to lose their loved ones because they couldn't buy insulin. Um, the Diabetes Association have concluded they have caused the leading cause of complication and mortality is because of the price of insulin, and they really endorse this bill and they want a resolution as well. So with the elimination of drug formularies for insulin, with the elimination of prior authorization, with the elimination of drug rebates between the pharmaceutical companies and the manufacturer and the insurance companies, with the elimination of prior authorization letter and regulation of price increase, such as including government representatives in meetings between the pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies to regulate and to explain why the insulin is being asked to increase. Why this is important? Because they need to show the reason why it's increased, not simply increasing the price, because it's becoming a very, very big problem and is causing lives, many, many lives. Um, Pharmaceutical beneficiary companies, insurance companies, and drug manufacturers are the three players right now. And this bill is pretty much asking to eliminate the middleman, is asking to eliminate the pharmaceutical manufacturing management companies. These companies are the middleman between insurance and the drug manufacturer. If you can eliminate them and include all insulin so patient can have access to any insulin in the market, the one that's more affordable, the one that better suits their needs, you will see better patient outcomes. The data is available to everyone, um, and I really believe this bill is very, very important. It's important for supporters and important to us to understand what is going on with the medication price regulation and insulin price regulation in the United States. It is a problematic thing. The bill is asking to just self-regulation and is asking is a to advocate is the senators have a commitment. It sounds like a very good one to increase adherence. We have patients right now they are not adhering to the treatment because they can buy. The prices are very high and it needs to change. Um, we have lives that solely depend on insulin. For type 1 diabetic patients, this is a life and death. If they don't have insulin, it means they will die. And and people don't have access, not everyone have access to insurance that cover everything. And even in what they do, they can actually exclude some agents that will be beneficial for patients, like the GLP-1 inhibitors. They are good medications, they increase beta function production, but right now you have insurance companies that don't cover beta 1 GLP-1 inhibitors. And the GLP-1 inhibitor, it is a good medication for people like, for example, type 2 diabetic that have beta cell function, but they want to push the oral glycemic controllers first. They really are not best for some patients because of the side effects and because it's just patients aren't going to have a long-term benefit of it. Um, I strongly support this bill. I think it's very important to government regulate prices of insulin, especially on Medicare and Medicaid, are the largest payers. The largest medical payer in America, it is regulated by the government. And I believe if you're going to pay the insurance companies, the manufacturer companies, they have to negotiate with them too to have better access. And another thing that I really support in this bill is that we should have access to information. And I think before increasing prices, they should really explain to the consumer why the prices is being increased. Just raising the prices without explaining why, it is not something that it should be acceptable. The data has shown, and I think the American Diabetes Association have concluded many studies on the lack of of the consequences of lack to treatment, and also how they can really affect thousands of people, what can happen to them. And then I hope this bill passes Congress. In the future, you have a amendment in this law that will eliminate prioritizations, that will eliminate insulin from drug formularies, and that will make obligate drug manufacturers to request increase the drug price ahead of time and explain why they increase the drug price. And I really think it's fair to reduce to go back to 2006 drug price. Going back to insulin prices go back to 2006, thousands of people can have access to treatment, better glycemic control, better outcomes. Because if it does not represent the medical inflation, and if they cannot really explain why increase so much in American places is not that high, um, and not as high as a 147% within 8 years. That's quite a significant increase, and it really affecting thousands of lives. Um, this bill, it is a bill that will have impact in many, many, many people on the public sector, on the private sector, providers, prescribers, family, and patients. And it needs to be supported. Um, I believe there are other bills trying to address medication price, but in my opinion, Bill S 129, 2199, I'm sorry, on the Insulin Price Reduction Act is asking for a reduction in price. It is a fair request, and as we know, when bills are introduced, not all the bills will pass. The prognosis of passing this bill is about 3%, and let's hope that our representatives can put the public interest first and vote for a resolution in this bill. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoy my video.